This is the first page of our ReqLens UI. As you can see, you can add a sample project and upload the corresponding source files along with it. So we have uploaded the meeting transcript, user stories, test cases, for example. You can upload other files as well and delete the projects from here. This is the pipeline runner. As you can see, the extraction agent has started working. It is running for extracting the requirements out of all the source which we have provided as text. We can see 139 candidates have been extracted from the source given. The evidence agent runs to check whether all the requirements which has been extracted has a proper evidence extracted from the source documents. The classification agent runs to classify the requirements as functional, non-functional or constraint requirements. As we can see, it has classified 137 requirements. After that, the ambiguity agent checks whether all the text inside the requirement have any present ambiguities or not. The dependency agent extracts edges of the knowledge graph which is to be formed. For example, whether any requirement is dependent on other requirement or whether any requirement is dependent on a source text. It usually maps the nodes of the knowledge graph with the edges. The consistency agent checks whether all the requirements which has been extracted is consistent or not with their proper source given. The traceability agents check whether all the requirements has the source present in them and persisted in the PostgreSQL session. After that, the elicitation agent works to generate 164 stakeholder questions from 14 unresolved open questions from the extraction agent and 42 ambiguity findings from the ambiguity agent. The ingestion agent then ingests all the 137 requirements as accepted requirements into the PostgreSQL database session. The composer agent then composes the whole SRS document with 137 accepted requirements. Document is generated and we can download it from the export SRS page. This is the third screen of our ReqLens UI tool. You can see you can accept, reject or keep it under need revision tab from this UI screen. After we click on reject, it moves on to the rejected tabs, and if we mark it as need revision, we can later change the requirement along with our provided text and then mark it as accepted. You can see the knowledge graph here, knowledge graph along with all the nodes and all the relation as edges. You can hover and see what are the requirements in this. This is the legend of the knowledge graph. As you can see, we also provide an evidence viewer UI screen for all the requirements which is generated. We can search whether it has proper evidence from the source text which we have given. We can search over all the requirement by their ID or their text, which is, for example, system present in any of the text of requirements will be shown here, and we can perform any actions which we want. We also provide an impact analysis section as part of the ReqLens UI. As you can see, we are mentioning the change request as replace Google login with institutional SSO. So it will check whether the requirements which are already persisted in the session will be related to this change request which we are making, and what will be the impact of this change to all the requirements. So the dependency agent is being called, as you can see, and the summary is generated with all the directly affected and indirectly affected requirements. As you can see, all the requirements which are directly and indirectly affected are shown here along with some suggested review tasks. We can enforce this change request along with the directed and indirected requirements, and we can create a new version of the project which is already there. As you can see, a rev n revision n version is created with the new requirements after the change impact has been enforced. Then we can download the newly generated requirements. This is our final generated SRS document with a total of 10 sections. As you can see, introduction followed by system overview, the stakeholders from the source texts, the functional requirements which has been extracted with all the requirement IDs are stored here. All the subsections of functional requirements you can see have been shown here. Next is the non-functional requirements and the constraint requirements. Then the assumptions and the traceability matrix summary tells whether all the requirements have their assured evidence which can be traced back. all the open questions which has been generated from the ambiguity section and open questions from extraction agent. You can see more than 100 extracted questions have been generated here. Along with the conflict report, you can see the last section of our SRS document, and that is it. Thank you.